Kazakhstan's peacekeeping initiatives have found an increasing response throughout the world. Well-reputed experts of the leading research and educational centers in the United States said that the country's approaches deserve careful study and application in solving the complicated problems. First of all, this includes the importance of overcoming disagreements on key topics of peace and security in the world, preventing military conflicts and terrorist attacks. The contribution of Kazakhstan to the conflict settlement through diplomatic dialogue has been recognized by the United Nations and numerous world leaders.
Видение Казахстана через
Kazakhstan's vision of achieving peace through negotiations and building trust in each other in the most difficult situations is a good example for everyone. When there were difficult situations, when the parties did not agree with each other and did not even want to sit down at the negotiating table, it was Kazakhstan's model that helped overcome these differences. The country states that let us find a point of trust, the point of compromise in order to sit at the same table and make the world free from violence and terrorism.
более, скажем, свободным от насилия, свободным от терроризма.
Kazakhstan is still a center of focus in the world community. Current changes in Kazakhstan are discussed in different countries. Armenian experts and politicians highlight that Nursultan Nazarbayev's contribution to the formation of statehood is invaluable. Nursultan Nazarbayev is a historical figure of historical scale. I can say that during those years when I had followed his activities, it was obvious that he highly prioritizes the independence, the sovereignty, the interests of Kazakhstan, and in this regard, I think many post-Soviet leaders have to learn from him. PhD of Political Science Vardan Atoyan recalls that it was Nursultan Nazarbayev who initiated the creation of the Eurasian Economic Union 25 years ago.
Конечно, господин Назарбаев является идеологом, евразийского.
Nursultan Nazarbayev is the mastermind of Eurasian Economic Union because the union was established based on his idea, which is very important for our countries from historical, cultural, and economic points of view. I hope that President Tokayev will continue Nazarbayev's initiatives.
Надеюсь, что господин Токаев продолжит то, что уже начал господин Назарбаев.
Meanwhile, head of Center for Political and Legal Studies, Johnny Melikyan, highlighted the new prospects of developing bilateral cooperation between Kazakhstan and Armenia.
Новый президент и новый премьер Армении, мне кажется, смогут...
I believe that Armenia's new president and prime minister will focus on the consistent development and deepening of the Kazakh-Armenian cooperation. It's important that the Armenian government understand the importance of deepening cooperation as part of the EAU. Alongside Russia, Kazakhstan is also an important partner for Armenia, with which we need to develop trade and economic cooperation.
Страной, с которой нужно развивать торгово-экономические отношения.
According to experts, Kazakh and Armenian governments are currently focused on developing stable and long-term cooperation while preserving and enhancing the decades-old partnership between the countries. Kazakhstan is strengthening cooperation in transport and logistics sector. As the leading country in Central Asia, Kazakhstan is one of the main actors of the New Silk Road revival strategy. 56% of freights trafficking from China to Europe go through the Dostik, Alashanko, and Altankol-Horgos border crossings. Implementation of a large-scale project aimed at the establishment of the Special Economic Zone, Horgos Eastern Gates, was successful. Kazakhstan and China expressed willingness to develop strategic ties between the AIFC and the Chinese financial institutions, as well as the customs services of the two countries.
Мы сейчас договорились тесно сотрудничать с главным таможенным.
We agreed to strengthen cooperation with the Chinese customs services and receive data on export declarations submitted by the Chinese nationals into China's customs service. We will have the opportunity to compare this data with the important customs declarations submitted by the Kazakh citizens.
Таможенными декларациями, которые сдают казахстанские участники.
China is Kazakhstan's fourth largest investor. The Chinese business people invest in metallurgy, transport, and logistics sectors. According to experts, trade and economic cooperation also strengthened between the countries. For instance, bilateral trade turnover has increased by 50% over the past 3 years. Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan are consistently enhancing bilateral trade and economic cooperation. In the first 8 months of 2018, foreign trade turnover between Mangistau region and the Uzbekistan totaled more than $16 million. Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan have a high trade potential due to the geographical proximity, well-established transport infrastructure and the free trade regulation between the countries. According to specialists, food fairs play an important part in the increase of trade turnover between the countries. Recently, Uzbek entrepreneurs brought 6 heavy trucks of fruits and vegetables from the Uzbek Horazm region to Mangistau region. Local customers had the opportunity to purchase the output at a lower price. The fair resulted from the bilateral agreement signed at the Inter-Regional Business Forum. The prices here are lower than in the market by 20%. We will continue trading fruits and vegetables. Horazm region is one of Uzbekistan's major agricultural and industrial regions. Meanwhile, trade turnover between Horazm region and Kazakhstan $12 million in 2018. This year, the Kazakh and Uzbek entrepreneurs are set to double the values, and experts believe that there is every opportunity to achieve this goal.
Which is actually pretty
Young Kazakh scientists presented their projects in the United Kingdom, where the Second Central Asian Research Forum on Sustainable Development Innovations was held. 21-year-old Sanjar Taijan is the youngest speaker. He created a team to develop accumulators for high-speed trains. His project was awarded as the best innovation.
We got to top 50 from 1,600 applications at Space Size competition. This competition organized by Elon Musk. So actually industry from England and also Kazakhstan industry are very interested. So my future plans is basically develop this transportation in UK.
As part of the forum, young scientists made scientific projects that are aimed at the development of the entire Central Asian region. Scientists and diplomats of the 2 countries, as well as members of the British Parliament, highlighted that the high level of this work is proof of the serious intentions of young specialists to develop science and improve the quality of life of the people.
I've visited Kazakhstan and I was very impressed with some of the research that I saw in universities in your country. The very best research anywhere in the world involves collaboration and partnership with the very best in the world wherever they're found. So part of this is about international links.
In early April, the forum will be continued in the capital of Kazakhstan, based on the Astana International Financial Center, now with the participation of doctoral students of Kazakhstan's universities. Student entrepreneur from Petropavl Zhanat Kakimov creates unique children's plaster castings shaped as Kazakhstan's sacred sites and fairy tale characters. The young man had the business idea when studying at school. Later, he won a grant from a youth project which helped him implement the idea. Zhanat first creates electronic models on the computer and later carves wooden templates on a milling cutter. Then he completes the forms with other essentials. The sets help develop manual dexterity and spatial thinking in children. I've always wanted to become an entrepreneur, but I didn't know what business to start. Then I thought that there were a few educational toys for children aimed at learning about Kazakhstan's sacred sites. With these toy sets, I wanted to develop patriotism among children so that they know about Ablay Khan and the sacred sites. Zhanat Kakimov and his team created more than 500 toy sets for children. His idea was named as one of the best concepts in the Youth Development Project. The young entrepreneur is planning to create 3D models of prominent sites of Kostanay region as well.
Жаңадан көрпе тіккенде шеті сетінеп сөгіліп кетпесінде осылай ішіне қарай қайырып жөрмейді. Оны жөрмеу дейді.
Unique Handicraft Club opened in the Russian Chelyabinsk region. The club members are fashioning Kazakh traditional clothes and blankets. Items fashioned by designer Sara Abdrakhmanova are performed in a traditional Kazakh style. The experienced tailor helps young girls to learn the basics of the dressmaking business.
Оюлар саламыз. Камзол.
We are learning to sew Kazakh overcoats and decorative boxes.
Апалар бізге үйретеді, көрсетеді.
According to the craftswoman, the interest towards the traditional decorative and applied art started growing recently, which is a good news for the designer. We want to pass on our knowledge and skills to the younger generation on how to create ornaments and embroideries. I am glad to see that there are girls who are willing to learn the Asian art. Local residents also want to learn the Kazakh language. Therefore, the Kazakh embassy is planning to open the language classes. Our consulate is set to open the Kazakh language classes in points with large ethnic Kazakh communities. We will do our best to provide the attendees with the required language learning books. There are currently 34,000 ethnic Kazakhs in Chelyabinsk region. The club organizers admitted that they would like their children to speak Kazakh language and follow and preserve Kazakh traditions. Local residents are planning to open more arts and crafts clubs in the near future. The Kazakh traditional cuisine was showcased in Belarus. Representatives of Kazakh diaspora organized a culinary workshop in Minsk. They displayed how to cook beshbarmak and baursaks. Ingredients were brought from Kazakhstan and cooked according to old recipes. The organizers say that the main goal is to give Belarusians an opportunity to cook the national dishes of Kazakhstan.
Мы считаем, что такой формат мероприятия очень хорошо запоминается.
We believe that this sort of event format is well remembered. When guests are invited to the festive table for cooked meals, it seemed to me that no one wonders on how the food was prepared and what it was made of. When people see how the food is cooked and they take part in cooking process, they remember the food for a long time.
Это запоминается надолго.
In the makeshift kitchen, the guests first learn how to prepare the drink from mare's milk. They say that kumis has an unusual taste, and they have heard about the drink's healing properties. Then, the participants of the master class learn how to prepare meat for beshbarmak.
Людям интересно знакомиться с культурой не только своей страны, но и...
People are eager to learn about not only the culture of their country, but also about the culture of their distant neighbors, like Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is far from us. There are not enough opportunities to go there. It turns out that Kazakhstan has come to us. This is very cool.
Он приезжает к нам. Поэтому это, конечно, очень здорово.
The Kazakh diaspora in Belarus has been working on the idea of organizing a culinary master class for several months. The non-standard event increased the great interest of the public. The organizers promise that from now on, such events will be held more often. A cooking class for children will be organized soon. Famous Kazakh artist's dream is to leave his mark. Zhumakhin Kairambayev is an author of the Izder project, which is translated as Footprints from Kazakh. He is a mentor of more than 100 talented painters, designers, and sculptors. Wishing to share his creativity with the world, the artist and his students founded the Izder exhibition in 2003. It takes place for the third time.
Адам баласында із қалу деген мысалы артында бала қалу керек, наследник қалу керек, өнері қалу керек.
The traces remain. Everyone should leave his or her mark. The trace of a man is his children, heirs, creativity, good deeds, and words. Take, for example, Great Abai. His wise words are still quoted by people. So I once decided to gather my students and with them organize such an exhibition of our creativity and heritage. The exhibition features more than 50 paintings by Zhumakhin Kairambayev and his 6 former students who are well-known Kazakh artists now. One of the co-authors of the exhibition, Oralbek Kabuke, says that it's a great honor for him to exhibit his works along with the works of his mentor.
барлығы кескіндемелік, кенеп майлы бояу шығармашылық жұмыстары. Енді іздер деген тақырыптың мағынасында да ашық.
52 paintings are showcased here. All of them are beautiful examples of modern Kazakh fine art and paintings performed in various topics. According to our mentor's idea, this exhibition aims to show his legacy. The legacy is us, his students, and our legacy is these pictures that we exhibit here.
Қалдыратын өзінің ізі болу керек деген мағынамен, әрқайсысы өзінің қолтаңбасында өзінің жүрек жарды шығармаларын осы көрмеге әкеп қойып отыр.
Exhibition of unique jewelry of the 19th century opened at the Sakyen Seyfulin Museum in Astana. The collection includes Kazakh silver earrings, bracelets, pendants decorated with traditional pattern, as well as exclusive belts and rings. Part of the exhibits was inherited by friends and relatives of Gulbahram Batirbekova, the wife of the great Kazakh writer and poet. The exhibition also features photographs and books dedicated to the founder of modern Kazakh literature. The museum in Astana was named after Sakyen Seyfulin more than 30 years ago. We collect exhibits for the collection based on research works of our museum's researchers. We also hold various events, meetings and conferences with Sakyen Seyfulin's relatives. Friends of Gulbahram Batirbekova used to wear such traditional style jewelry to complete their looks. Kazakh traditional jewelry of this style is popular at the moment. Items such as personal belongings, photographs and books exhibited at the museum provide many details about Sakyen Seyfulin. The museum staff claims that the interest in the exhibits continues to grow every year.
Популярность нашего музея растет, к нам приходит не только Казахстан.
The Sakyen Seyfulin Museum is becoming more popular among both Kazakh citizens and foreign visitors from countries such as India, Scotland, United Kingdom, and more. Our museum is visited by more than 500 visitors every month. There are more than 6,000 exhibits in the museum presented in 6 halls. The museum staff completely recreated the writer's working office. Sakyen Seyfulin left an indelible mark on the Kazakh literature and history.
National pride and wealth of the people are dogs Tazy and Tobit. These dogs have always been considered as native Kazakh breeds. The dogs had accompanied nomads for millennia. Tobit, or a Kazakh wolfhound, helped to graze cattle, protecting it from wolves, and Tazy was helpful during hunting. In a word, both dogs played a significant role in life and culture of Kazakh people. The preservation of Tazy and Tobit for future generations is the main goal of metropolitan dog breeder Mukiyat Kudaybergenov. For over half a century, he has been breeding these dog breeds.
Осы үш критерий болу керек. Жүйрік болу керек. Бұл ұлттық жәдігер ғой.
This is a national value, and in order to preserve it, we have created institutes where we carry out work with geneticists and breeders. The people who want to preserve Tazy work on this project. The breed has been improved comparing to what it was 10 years ago.
Қарасақ, қазір әжептәуір жақсарып қалды.
The first official presentation of the dog breed Tazy took place in 1958 at the first all-union exhibition of service and hunting dogs in Moscow. 12 Kazakh Tazy dogs were shown. In 2015, at the initiative of the Kansunar Association, the standards of national dog breeds were approved. Tazy and Tobit officially received a state status. Today, experts plan to promote these breeds at the international level. First of all, the experts say that it's necessary to apply for the World Canin Organization.
Кинологиялық орталық керек, питомник керек.
We need a canon center. We need a nursery. Dogs must be studied in new ways. This work should be carried out not for 10 years, but in 1 or 2 years. The Republican Canon Center with a nursery for Tazy and Tobit will be opened in the Sakyen Seyfulin Kazakh Agri-Technical University. The data of the breed and the blood of dogs will be studied in the laboratory. The main goal of the center is to preserve the purity of the breed. In addition, the center ensures the proper care for pets.